Hello there. What is up, everybody? My name is Scott, and this is my character, Scott, and this is my girlfriend, Kate, and this is my spaceship called the Perdwin, I think. And this video is the SpoilerCast, episode 8, which is a video that is going to be about Fallout 4 and all of the wonderful things in it and all of the crap things in it, because for me it's very much a mixed bag of things, and even being up here is a little bit annoying because there are so many loading screens, and that's why I'm going to have to start on the outside so that you don't have to see those things. So, what is the SpoilerCast? Well, let me tell you what it is. It is a video where I'm going to spoil the shit out of the game. So if you don't want that, you should probably go away, and you should probably pause the video, and then you should come back later and watch it once you have played the entirety of the game. That may be 100 hours, your battery in your laptop may run out of charge, you know, the world might end, but at least you'll have a video waiting for you on the other side of death, which is the most important thing in life, really. So, without further ado, I'm going to be playing the game, and I'm going to go to this thing here, and as I do this, I'm going to enter a vertibird, and I'm just going to talk about the game, you know, what's in the game, what's not in the game, story stuff, and then, you know, have some fun while playing it. So, I guess we should probably start off by, where should we start? We'll start off on a positive note, which is as good as any, because we're gonna do some combat here. Excuse me, I'm incredibly sick. So we're holding a minigun here, as you can see. If we zoom out, we're holding it. My girlfriend didn't actually get in this. She was quite excited about it, but she didn't get in. One of the best things about the game is the combat, which has been put in place. For those of you that have played Fallout 3, who played New Vegas, they will know that the combat in those games kind of sucks. It's there, and it gets the job done, and in that it's the only real way of getting the job done, you know. But shit, there's a thing. Oh god, there's a behemoth. Oh, at least I'm in this. That's good. So, basically the combat in the other games is really shitty, and not very enjoyable, in that it doesn't really feel like you're aiming anything. It just sort of feels like you're pointing at a cursor at objects and pressing the R1 button or the R2 button, whatever. Whereas in this, the shooting feels like a proper first-person shooter, which is pretty awesome. It feels like any sort of modern shooter today, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, that sort of thing. And I think it's because Bethesda have been using id or id Tech, something involving id, who is another Bethesda-owned studio as far as I'm aware. They made Doom and Wolfenstein, and they made Rage as well. Rage, I don't think that's a very good game, but the combat in it's really awesome. And I think the same can be said here. Like, every weapon in it, including this one, the controller's vibrating right now. It feels like it's actually a minigun which I'm firing. I feel like the guns have a real great sound to them. There's a laser rifle that I use. I love the sound of that. I think it's pretty amazing. And yeah, it's nice to have just weight behind the guns. You know, it feels like a revolver that I'm gonna be firing here, whereas before it was just, you know, kind of a, as I said, a pointer on the screen. So they've definitely improved that. It's definitely a lot more fun to play. I find myself not even using VATS anymore. And VATS is, of course, this system where you sort of aim at the limbs and that sort of thing. So I can aim at his arm. I can get more accurate shots. I blew off his arm there, which is pretty outstanding. But I feel like I barely even use that anymore, because it's somewhat of a secondary option to the pretty outstanding combat that's there. You know, I really like playing it as a shooter. I think it really works like that. And I think that playing in third person's okay. As you can see, my guy's pretty awesome. He has cool armor. He is Grognak the Barbarian, and he's got a baseball hat on. But yeah, I feel like it doesn't really work the same. It still zooms down the scope, which is a little bit weird in a third-person game to be doing that. Shit, I'm gonna die. Well, maybe I was a bit hasty to say that I was gonna die, but you know, I might have died. So it's really fun exploring as well. You know, shooting things. It feels just like a big giant shooter that I can go around in, you know, obviously a lot deeper than a Call of Duty game, for sure. But yeah, I think that's something that they've definitely improved since the last time. And I kind of touched on it a little bit there, but we'll talk about the exploration as well. So that's just the general meanderings through the game, which is pretty fantastic as well. It's kind of the same as Fallout 3, but I think that the size of the world is fantastic. The amount of things that you can find, you can just, like, there's just random buildings here, and like the attention to detail and stuff in the environment is kind of amazing. I'll show you the map actually. So this is the map, and this is, I think I've found like around 150 locations, and so this is 150 locations that I found, and you can see that there are still like kind of huge expanses that I haven't even been to, such as down this area. I don't know if the story will take me there, or I'm just gonna have to explore there on my own, but it also seems like there's maybe a lot of water here, so there's perhaps not much going on there. But so the amount of things that you can explore in the game are quite fantastic. There's so much going on. Like there's a little bit of similarity in some of the locations that I'm finding, just like Fallout 3, there's always like factories and houses that are just the same, and I feel like the interiors could be a little bit different sometimes. That would be kind of nice, but overall I think they've done a really nice job of making a world that's readily available for exploration. I think that the world itself as well is really well crafted, in that it feels like a realistically apart from this metal that I can just walk through for some reason. I guess it's because this vertebrate is not part of the environment, but it's a little bit odd. But yeah, I feel like the world that we're going around in feels like a realistic sort of nuclear wasteland, which I really appreciate. I appreciate the level of detail, as I said before. I appreciate that everything's thoroughly ruined. Like the sign, this U.S. Army Fort Strong sign has some weeds on it, which of course is the cornerstone of any wasteland. Weeds and things of this nature, trees that have fallen over, doors that are just a little bit dirty, doors that are just falling around the town. So of course there's a realistic level of destruction that's going on here. I think as well as that, I think the sort of American, I don't know, I don't want to say exceptionalism, maybe that's not what I mean, but sort of like the sort of emphasis on American history, like, obviously Boston, for those of you that know, Boston is a place of great American history. There's a lot of stuff there. There's the Capitol buildings there. There's of course old St. Jiminy's Wonder Mill. There's Fort Washington's there. There's the Yellow Factory. There's the old port town. There's Dandy's, Will Hall, and Fort Memoriam, and there's the bar from Cheers. All these classic locations and more. Of course, Kate just materialized into the lift there, which is a nice feature of the game. So there are all these famous memorial places that are no doubt in this game. I haven't seen any of the places that I mentioned, of course. I think the Bar of Cheers is actually there, but the other places they might not be there. It's not that realistic. Pappy's old Fort Time Memoriam American Flag Company. It might be there, it might not be there. But the places that are there that are actually in this game, such as Bunker Hill is a place. There's like the Museum of Witchcraft. I don't know if I guess that's American history because it's history and it's also in America. The Salem witch trials and stuff. It's just a nice little touch that they have there. I haven't actually explored Salem proper very much, but it's nice that there's sort of a focus on that. I can't remember the name of the place. I wish I knew these places more in America. I really wish I was better at that. But there's the place where Good Neighbor is, and there's Winthrop. I think it's like the old State House or something like that. Is that what it is? Maybe he lives there, and he looks like quite a patriotic guy. He's wearing, there's some toilet water. What's that say? Purified water, just in a toilet. There's a plunger. Can I take the plant? No, I can shoot the plant though. So he's a ghoul, and he's wearing there's no dirty water sign here, which is disappointing. So there's the ghoul Hancock, who's probably named after John Hancock. He's wearing like kind of one of those old fancy timey American hats that they all wear in the past. And then there's the old Stars and Stripes coat that they all wore back in the day when they were all running around with their apple pies in their hands, screaming, we want cream for our pies. We want cream for our pie. Why can't I hit this glowing mutant hound? Why don't you like my cream pies? Why don't you like them, glowing mutant hound? Oh God, he's so powerful, and I've got zero chance. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Time to run away. I shouldn't have talked about anything to do with those pies. Can I use this? I named this thing Fisty because I'm gonna fist the shit out of this thing. You're dead. You're easily defeated. Oh my God. You're strong. You're really strong. Not as strong as my fist though. Yeah. Bastard. Right, okay, where's this? I'm very much nervous about this, man. Night, bitch. Oh God. Sorry. So as I was saying about good old Fisty, or what the hell was I talking about? I wasn't talking about Fisty. Fisty's the name of my weapon. I wasn't talking about Fisty. Is this better than anything I have? Acrobats, metal right leg. No. Well, no, it's not. It would increase my agility as far as I'm aware, but I'm not gonna wear that. But yeah, the American history is nice. It's nice that they're touching on that. Another nice thing that I sort of appreciated as well. I don't really know if Boston has sort of a history with like gangsters and things of this nature. I would assume that it does have some sort of like mob connections somewhere around there. But it feels like there's a nice sort of theme of that going on, which I kind of appreciate. Everybody has those like accents where they're like, we're gonna fuck you up, kid, and all this sort of thing. And they have like Tommy guns. They're running about with those. They have like the pinstriped suits on, and there's like one guy in particular. I think you go to the vault that's under the subway. I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember anybody's name in this. I think that's the problem. I think I'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, he's a guy, and he has like a black suit on. He's wearing the hat. He has like a gang. They're all kind of going around. So I like that these nice sort of like little touches of like past America, such as like the revolution and like mob culture and like criminal violence and all this sort of thing. It's all really nice. It feels like they're trying to maybe the society in this world is sort of trying to reclaim its sort of values that it would have had back in the 50s and oh, shit, what gun did I just drop there? Oh God, can this be useful? I didn't even... Nah, shitty damage on it. So yeah, it's nice that they're sort of trying to rebuild society, but they're going about it obviously in a bit of a violent and horrible way. Obviously, mobs and American war guys are probably not the best models for a society, but they're trying in a weird way. So yeah, that's something that I definitely appreciate. What else? So the city itself. Speaking of Boston and sort of history and that sort of thing, the city itself is much better than the city in Fallout 3, I think, for sure. Washington DC is really awesome, and it's got really great monuments and things. You have Jefferson Memorial, you have the Washington Monument, you have like the Capitol Building, all these things that are really recognizable even from someone such as myself who's not from America. Those are really awesome. Why are these in pieces? We could use these if they were together. So yeah, it had a lot of recognizable places, but they were all sort of confined to separate areas of the map. You know, it was like, oh, here's the area where the Washington Monument is, here's the area where the White House is, you know, these sorts of things. Whereas everything in this city is, you know, it's just one whole map. You know, everything's not interconnected by subway tunnels, which is something that Fallout 3 definitely had a problem with. It was really, really annoying getting from one area to another when you hadn't discovered something. You had to go through a weird maze of these tunnels where, you know, essentially... Am I done? Can I leave? I think I can leave. So yeah, there's a lot of annoying things in Fallout 3, and the map, like the mini map and like the pointer like on the HUD, was really, really difficult to follow, I thought. So they've 100% fixed that with this game, and that there are subway tunnels still, but the subway tunnels are all blocked off apart from the rooms that you need to go to explore or to do the missions. So it's a very small, confined area, and so there's like rubble blocking the way, which is obviously stopping you from going down the tunnels and that sort of thing. So nothing that I've seen so far really... Oh shit. I really hate you for interrupting me. I'll let them talk and I'll finish my sentences, you know, because I'm such a nice guy. Alright, well, he reminds me of Buzz Lightyear far too much. He also looks like him. He's also self-serious. No! Oh god, God, we've killed him. We killed him at the elevator door. Oh, Kit, you're here. Ah, this is a horrible nightmare box. I don't like it. I don't like the nightmare box. Let me out. So yeah, the city is nice and interconnected. It feels like a proper city. Feels like somewhere that's not annoying, which is always nice for a city. Whoa, Jesus, this is a bright room. Oh, it's daytime now, apparently. Where is this? Where's the super mutant? There's a super mutant in here. Where is the super mutant? It's really weird that they have a super mutant in here. Is he in here? Why is there a... Why are you here? You really shouldn't be here. We've finished the mission. Oh well. Yeah, we should probably get into the story maybe a little bit, which is the genuine sort of point to the SpoilerCast, I guess, talking about the story. I really should maybe start with the story, because that's actually what the video is supposed to be about, but it's really just a big review of the entire game. You understand this, you understand it. Of course, you're sitting there right now, you're dressed to impress. You're probably walking around in your fancy coats that you're wearing, no doubt. Where's this outpost? We should go here, maybe. And clear this out, because this requires no... Yeah, you know what, we'll do that. So, the story. The story is good in terms of the main quest. I really like the idea of what's going on with the main character, who is a man who's been frozen for 200 years. After he was put into the vault, and he's now out of the vault looking for his son, or he was looking for his son. I found his son. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, he's found his son and stuff, and I like the motivation for it. His wife is killed as soon as they're unfrozen. The son is stolen. He's frozen again for another 60 years, actually, as we find out later on in the story. And then you set out to find your baby son, who's actually an adult. What the hell? Why is there a Labrador here? Or a Rottweiler? Oh, it's this guy's. Hello there. Hey, Wolverine. Yeah, I'm happy that we're getting the dog. Why can't I send her there? Why? Where's she gonna go? Where's the dog gonna go? Go to Boston Airport. That's the safest place. That's what the Brotherhood are. They'll look after the dog. Why is he selling the dog? Why? Well, the dog seems to be going with him still, so clearly the dog doesn't give a shit about me buying him. Or her. Why was he selling the dog? He was really sad. I feel really bad now. The poor guy. It seems like the dog's still going with him, so maybe the transaction didn't go through. Maybe my card was declined. My bottle cap card. So yeah, the story with the main guy, I really like the motivation for it. I think that's really fantastic. Oh shit, no. This is the worst thing. Stupid animation. So the motivation that his wife's been killed, I was kind of furious that his wife was killed at the very start. I was like, no, why can't they just be happy in the wasteland together? That would be awesome. But no, of course she had to be shot brutally in the face, which I didn't appreciate. Then, oh god, that scared that genuinely terrified me. I don't know why, but it did. And now it makes me scared that more things in the world are gonna do that, because I didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. So yeah, I like it in terms of that, and I like that we found him. I quite like the twist in the story. The twist is, okay, if you've watched it up to this point, there's going to be a really big spoiler now. The twist that your son is actually the villain of the game, in that he's as I said, you sort of it's really weird. It's a really weird way of saying what happens, but this is okay. Basically, what you think happens is that you think that you've woken up momentarily, your wife has been killed, your son's been taken, then you think that you get out of the vault instantaneously, and then you go on your mission to find your son who's just been kidnapped. You've sort of witnessed all this. But what really happens, and your son tells you this when you meet him, he says that because you've been in stasis for so long, you have no idea of what time is like, and so therefore it... Oh my god, what the hell? Are you kidding me? I honestly don't think I've died in 30 hours. Like, I really don't. You have to be kidding me. What the hell? Where am I going to be back to? Where did I save? Probably when I came out of that bloody place. Oh, this is annoying. What type of gun's this? So, yeah, essentially, you don't have any conception of time. So when you come out of the vault, it's actually been an extra 60 years since your wife has been shot and your son has been killed. Yeah, of course, we're just here. Is that dance? It is. How did he get there? Oh, fuck this. Oh, we're not going back there then. Enough of that. We're not doing that again. Maybe one day we'll get that dog. The man gets to keep his dog for now. What are we gonna do? I fucked that quest up. I killed the robot. Now the robot's dead and I can't bring it anywhere, which is good. There was like a place that was south. They were like, you should go there. Is it there? I don't know. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get power armor and we're gonna go back there and we're gonna do that and we're gonna take out those raiders. So yeah, your mind has been skewed and 60 years have gone by and your son is aged to 60 years old, which is an odd thing to say. It doesn't really make much sense because it's just sort of like science. Your time is all distorted. You don't really understand time, and so it's actually been 60 years. Like, it's okay in theory, but we really don't know if that's possible. I guess it is a game about mutants and things, so science is kind of out the window anyway. But I like that as as kind of a trope, I think it's nice enough. You know, it gets the job done. Makes your son the villain of the piece because he is the villain, which is a nice twist as well. I think that's quite a decent way of introducing him as the villain. So I keep talking about him being the villain, and the reason that he's the villain is because the main bad guys in inverted commas, I guess, because Strong disliked what? What did Strong dislike? Did he dislike that I'm in power armor? Because why does anybody dislike that? Why is that even a thing? So basically, what was this again? That was that one, yeah. Okay. So yeah, the main villains are the Institute, and they are these guys that are making synths, which are artificial humans, sort of like robots or cyborgs, I guess. And they've invented new ones that look like humans, and they're really hard to tell that they're actually not humans. And so, of course, everybody in the Wasteland kind of dislikes this as an idea because they're sort of, I guess they're being lied to. They maybe don't like them because they're not humans, which is sort of a bit racist in a way, but it's a nice idea. They sort of played around with this in that one quest in Fallout 3. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. It's like the Inhuman Man or something like that. I can't really remember. But yeah, they mess around with that. There's the Railroad, who is trying to ship the synths out of there. They're trying to rescue them, stuff like that. Why, you didn't pop up before, I don't think. So there's the Railroad who are trying to save the synths, and then there's the Brotherhood of Steel who is sort of like... Was there no lunchbox there before? I'm pretty sure there was. That's... yeah. And there's the Brotherhood who are just sort of in it to... They're in it to kind of get technology and kind of to do good things, but if they do good things, it's sort of just happenstance. It's like by accident, which is fair enough, I guess. But anyway, the main bad guys are the Institute, and basically the Institute was around before you were in the, not before you were in the vault, but before you came out of the vault, and essentially they wanted someone that was a pure human that hadn't been touched by radiation. And of course they go to the vault because you've been in there for 200 years, and so is your child and your wife, and so that's why they steal your son, because they want a pure human to make a pure synth, I guess. That's sort of the explanation. And so they steal your son, they use him to not clone people, but to make artificial life out of him. And he lives there in the Institute, which is this cool space facility under the ground. And he's been living there for 60 years. So that's why he is the villain of the game, and I think that's pretty cool. And it's an interesting dynamic that they've sort of reversed the plot of Fallout 3, which was that you were a son looking for your father. In this, you're a son looking for your... Actually, no, the opposite. You are a son. You're a son of some man. You know, children aren't usually birthed of their own accord, apart from Jesus, who was an anomaly. I think we can all agree. But fusion core removed. It filled. Okay, good. The fusion cores fill up automatically. That's good. That's one thing I'll maybe get into. Actually, we'll talk about it briefly. The fusion cores are used to power armor, and they are finite apparently. So if you run out of the fusion cores, then that means that there will be no more power armor for you ever, which is a bit shitty. But yeah, so your son is an old man, and it reverses the dynamic of Fallout 3 because you're a father looking for your son. So it kind of reverses that idea. I don't like these mannequins. They need to go away. This mannequin is the strongest thing in the world apparently. So it reverses it in that he's an old man, so he's somewhat like your father figure. He's experienced more in the world. He's probably smarter than you. He's probably got a better education than you. He probably knows more about a lot of things because he's a lot older. He's probably 30 years older than you at this point, even though you're over 200 years old, which is really interesting. It's interesting to see them kind of react to those... Oh god. Somebody has a mini nuke, I think. Oh goodness. I think that's why I maybe died. Was it a mini nuke? Maybe not. bitch. You son of a bitch. Oh, he had a fat man on him just. Yeah, that's why. I'm not going to take his stuff. It's too heavy. So yeah, it's an interesting sort of dynamic watching your character interact with your father. I think that, or your son, sorry, I keep messing it up. There's so many. So it's interesting to watch your character interact with his grown-up son, which is very interesting because obviously one's sort of an authority figure. I think your son is also the leader of the institute. So he's got some authority behind him, and I think it's maybe difficult for your guy, your character that you're playing as. It's kind of hard for him to fit into that sort of son-like role under his father. So I think it's a really interesting dynamic, and it's using the world and like the whole sci-fi thing of like being frozen like cryogenically and that sort of thing. So it's playing to the tropes of the Fallout universe pretty well in order to tell a story. So I appreciate that a lot, and I got this, so that's also good. So I totally appreciate all that, and I actually, in terms of like my choices for the games, or for the game, what do I have to do? Oh god. What am I doing? I think I have to build a beacon, is it? They have a beacon there. Oh no, they have a pylon. Okay, I need to do this. Oh god. This is annoying. These are really annoying. I hate the settlement building. It's so shitty. Guess I'll talk about that in a second, maybe when I'm finished talking about the story. Is that what they wanted me to do? I think it is. Yeah, talk to Preston. Alright, that's what they want me to do. So, what was I even saying? So they interrupted me to do some stupid shit there. What was I talking about? Something important. Something about the Institute. Something about your father. Something about your son. You know, it's really helpful to talk about the things that you think you're talking about over and over again. That definitely works to refresh your memory. Yeah, I guess I was talking about the father-son dynamic, which is a bit reversed here. That's interesting. Oh yeah, I've remembered my choices in terms of what side I'm siding on. I haven't actually finished the main game, so I don't know the ending. You know, I don't know that exactly, but I know what side I'm going for now. I'm working with the Brotherhood of Steel at this point. I initially was working with the Institute because I did sort of those quests first. I know that there were choices. I knew that there were choices coming up for the Railroad and for the Brotherhood, and so I was like, okay, maybe I'll go back to those. And sort of the main plot kind of funneled me down the way towards the Institute, and so I yeah. Oh god, he's ready to go. He's going out there. He's ready to fight. Sure, let's go. Let's go for it. We're gonna go to the castle now. We're gonna fight some people. Where is the castle? There it is. So I was with the Institute and I did one quest, which involves going to Bunker Hill, killing a lot of people at Bunker Hill actually, and then going below the ground there into a basement where there are a bunch of synthetic people that you have to bring back to the Institute, because the Institute are seen as bad usually because they kidnap people, turn them into synths, and the real people are kind of lost while the synths are sent out into the open world. And there's just a dead body. Apparently he's in a bit of an uncomfortable position. Let's help him. Let's help him out. Is his arm sort of stuck behind him? It is. His shoulder and his arm are kind of, his other arm's really weird. That arm there, yeah, it's like that one's too big and the other one's too small or something. Or one's too high up. He's a bit of a hunchback, this guy. I'm gonna try and I kind of want to mount him to the world, or to at least up here, to like let everybody see him. Come on. Oh god, pathetic. I could store all of my items on him. I could do that forever. So, are we gonna talk to him? We already talked about this, did we not? Did we not just do this? I wasn't really paying attention. Did we not just do that? So basically, I went to the place where I was going to capture the synths, and then they were really scared, and I was like, this doesn't really seem right. It doesn't really seem like we're doing the right thing here. So I was being a good guy, and then I was like, you know what, synths, you're free to go. We're not going to capture you. You're not going back to the Institute. And of course, the synths that were with me to capture those guys weren't very happy with the situation, and of course they turned on me. I had to kill them, and then I went to speak to my son, who's ironically and weirdly called Father, which is a little bit strange. It's almost like he's like Liam Neeson from Fallout 3. And so he wasn't very happy with what I'd done, and he told me that I was fired from the synths, or from the Institute, and that I was no longer welcome there, and that they hated me and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, fucked up that relationship with my son, and my why did I get this quest? Why did they give me that? Why did they give me that? Do we not have to defend the castle? Travel to the castle. I'm at the castle. So I was then their enemy, and I thought that was quite nice. There was quite a poignant moment you had with your father on top of the roof of MIT, which is just above where the Institute is. And yeah, we had quite a nice talk, because he had never been outside before. We got to talk about the state of the wasteland, and we kind of saw him in his truly sort of dictatorial, villainous side at that point, which is really quite a nice reveal, that I was sort of helping them, then figured out that they were bad, and then sort of changed my mind with it, that sort of thing. So it was really sort of a natural progression for my character, I thought. And I thought that, like a lot of other moments in the game, my character speaks with, real emotion and poignancy when he's doing things on the main quest. It's a real passion-driven mission, which I really, really enjoy. We're going to talk to this lady now called Ronnie. I'm going to skip what you're saying, because you're just talking garbage. Hello there, cowboy girl. Where are you going? Where are you going? Who are you? Why are you dead? You're not even... You've got a melon on you. Why have you got a melon? Why are you here? Just doing some homework. There, this man's doing his homework. He's got 2 dead bodies on his lap. One of them's got no clothes on. He's having a fun time, and he's just... What do you have to say for yourself? I could take all his ammo and just leave him there. We could take his hat. Do you think so? Do you think we're starting to make a difference? Oh god. Oh god, he's scared now. He's scared. I have a lot of turrets out here. Oh god, they're all going to be blown up as well. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Shooting a synth that's already dead. Oh god, I don't know why. Why are we even being attacked? Did Preston say why we were being attacked? I don't think he did. These synths, see, these are the synths. Maybe they're mad because my dad hates me now, or my son hates me. It's a confusing situation. It's a really confusing. He came from my organs. He came from my organs. I did not come from his. That's the way progeny works. Progeny, as far as I'm aware, means to have children. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the truth. Is that all of them? That was a really short battle. What are you doing, Preston? Preston? Is there one down there? Where are we? Why are they up there? Why are they up there? This doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Good joke from myself. Good joke from myself. Dance and celebrate with me, woman who works at the Institute. I just shot you. 20%? Is this for real? Is this real life, synth? Is this real life? Oh, good lord. Luckily I got the armor. I'm really bad at this. I'm going to use a better weapon. I'm going to use a more fun weapon. The Gauss rifle's not the best. So what can we talk about while I could use this. This is a really strong melee weapon. So one thing that I don't like, I mentioned there about the character showing a lot of sort of poignancy and emotion when he's speaking about the main quest and that sort of thing. I guess they really do hate me, don't they? They're sending these actual real people out, not just the robots. I leveled up, I've got a perk to choose from. It's very nice indeed. They're all coming from down there. Maybe I should do I have a mini nuke? I do. I have two. I don't want to waste it actually. That's silly. There's no point in wasting the nuke, the mini nuke. So one thing that I really kind of don't like about the main character is his sort of interaction and things that don't really involve him. Obviously they have like the new sort of system where you choose sort of one dialogue option and then that's it. It's very much the Telltale method of storytelling, not the lying kind of Telltale, but like the video game company Telltale, in that you just pick one and then you don't get to hear the other three options usually, or other two options, however many you get, and sort of like he cares a lot about his sort of main quest, which I appreciate. He should care about it, because it's kind of the story built around him, which he definitely should care about. Good old Scott wearing his loincloth and his power armor right now. He should definitely care about his own life. But when it comes to his involvement in sort of other settlements and other people's lives, he doesn't really care. And I'm not saying this because he's an unfeeling character. I'm saying this because he sort of just talks like he's not interested at all. Like his dialogue options usually involve just one-line answers and things of this nature, which is really like jarring and really kind of terrible storytelling, kind of pointless. Like he might as well not have a voice at all. They've made a big deal about the character having a voice in this game, like the male and the female characters can speak now, whereas before it's a Corsair. In Fallout 3 in New Vegas, the main character was silent, right? So, of course, you would think that they would be giving him more to say, whereas in this, like he's like, "Oh, that's interesting," or like he's like, "Oh, that's a bad idea," or like, "Oh, tell me more about this town that you live in," or like, "Oh, that sounds awful. What are you gonna do?" Like he doesn't have any investment in anyone's stories at all, besides his own, which I feel is really, really disappointing. Really kind of shitty. What else do I find shitty in this game? We'll talk about those things generally before we finish up. I find the as you saw before, the settlement building, anything really to do with building or crafting, I feel is completely unnecessary, completely frustrating, annoying, not very fun in any way. Why won't you die? You're a very strong lady. I find it really jarring. I feel like it's too much. They really shouldn't have added it. I feel like it's just a lot of busy work, which I don't appreciate at all. It gets too granular, and I feel like the crafting is the exact same way. It's just so granular, and I feel like I'm constantly worrying about how much junk I'm picking up and bringing around, because I might need like some spare parts for something, and I just find it so frustrating, because in Fallout 3 I could just sell all my junk and get lots of money for it, whereas now I feel like I need to save it because I might need it somewhere along the line, and it gets to be way too much, and I find it really frustrating. I find it really, really unnecessary, and even though they keep saying that it's optional, you don't need to do it, and I don't. Like, it's not really vital to the story or anything like that, but everything in the game forces you down a pathway where you sort of you need to be using it all the time, which I just hate. Like, everything is just emphasizing it at every turn, like from just random cans that you're picking up on the street to like even those little like sort of side missions that Preston's getting me to do, like it's just always there, and it's so intrusive. I really, really dislike it. And one of the other things, I mentioned the exploration earlier on, which is really fun, and I think there's a lot of things to do in the game which I appreciate, but I also feel like everything is just the same. Like, everything is just kind of the same as Fallout 3 in almost every way, which I find completely lazy almost. I feel like they've they tout ambition, Bethesda, whereas really it doesn't come off as like original in any way. And I feel like this year we've got Witcher 3, we've got Metal Gear Solid 5, we've got Bloodborne, we've got Dying Light. I feel like all those games do open world games better, because this just feels like a game that's it's not very innovative. I feel like it's derivative of Fallout 3 in almost every way, from the way the HUD looks. Obviously not this power armor. The power armor is different, but the way the HUD generally works, the way the VATs work, the way environments look, the visuals obviously look much better than Fallout 3, but there are certain instances where you'll just walk into a random corner, you know, like in here maybe, and I just look at the wall and I'm just like, this could be Fallout 3, you know, this could easily be Fallout 3, and even down to like the reused environments, that sort of thing, the way the Pip-Boy looks, the way you I don't know, just sort of go about everything, just the way it feels, the way it runs as well. It runs like shit sometimes. Like, I don't think it's been too bad here, but sometimes when there's a lot of things going on, like even up there, I guess it was kind of, the frame rate was terrible. It feels like it definitely dropped below 30 frames per second a lot of the time, and there are lots of random bugs, and the character models don't look great, and they're not talking in a way which I'm enjoying. It just feels so much like Fallout 3, and I'm not even like that interested in the story in terms of like side missions and stuff. I'm interested in the main story, but the side missions are the other characters, because they're all just random puppets in the world. Even though they look more individual, they just Alright, I guess we're gonna go to the Institute, which is nice. Maybe we're getting to the end of the story. So yeah, I feel like I was being quite positive in sort of my discussion there at the beginning, kind of because I was talking about the story, the exploration, that sort of thing. But I feel like, what am I even searching here? Like this sort of shit. Like, I guess I'm searching this ash pile. Like what? Like why? I don't know. I feel like I have like a real distaste for it in general, and I really, a lot of the times it feels like a chore playing it, because it just feels like I'm going back to 2008, and even the music in it is the same as Fallout 3. Sometimes they actually have the Fallout 3 soundtrack, which is one of the most stupid things in the world. The song that was playing just there is in Fallout 3. So sometimes, like the visuals, the sounds of the guns, you know, the lockpicking, the hacking on the computers, like there are moments where it just feels like we're in the same game as we played 7 years ago. So I think that's really, really disappointing, because I feel like open world games can do so much more, and they're so much more ambitious than what this game really is, and I'm really quite disappointed in it. So sorry to kind of end on a negative note, but you know, it's a Monday right now when I'm recording. Tuesday's tomorrow. That's a better day than a Monday. I need to be up in 6 hours. That's not such a good thing. But anyway, if you like the video, if you like spoiling things, don't spoil things for people unless you're going to tell them that you're going to spoil them. But if you like what I do, then tell me that. And then I don't know if you can tell, but I don't work off a script, and sometimes I kind of forget. Why can't I activate this ash pile? What does activating this ash pile do? It doesn't do anything. Okay, if you like the video, tell me, subscribe and like the video. Have a really good day. Also, don't drink radiation. If you want to take away 3 things from Fallout, or from this video, don't drink radiation. When you're with your companion, look her dead in the eye, and just sort of try and push her into the sea. Just push your companion into the sea. I have been Scott. This is the SpoilerCast, episode 8. and just push your companion into the sea. Come on, Kate. Just push her into the sea. Have a nice day.